Hey, what's happening? Man, I was just sitting here thinking, uh, man, just thinking about some different things and wait on. No, wake up, get your ass out the bed. It's tea time. Just had a few things to come across. My mind been playing tricks on me, man, all day. Am I hearing this right? Must be the heat. You know what I mean? Well, I want to share a few things with everybody, man, and I want to elaborate on a few things, man. I want to start at well, first let me start at MSP, man, the home of Batman and used to be Robin. Used to be the dynamic duo, but now it's the dynamic 1-0. So we're working on that to make it the dynamic 0. Uh, how in the world, first I want to address a few things concerning, um, I guess the living conditions there. Man, a lot of guys been calling me, telling me how hot it is at Unit 29, man, and all those camps that don't have heat. And I think that the guys there, man, deserve heat, man. The heat index is like 120, 121, man. You can get a heat stroke at 105. So a consistent temperature above 105, man, puts everybody's life in danger, including your officers. So I think that, that's one of the things, man, that we need to address as a community, as a family, as a people that care about, people who are incarcerated. I think that we need to address the heat situation in Unit 29. You got all these other places. If 30B building can have air, you damn sure can get it for, Unit 29. You know what I mean? And so they're not changing the clothes like they're supposed to. They're not getting ice down there. Man, them people need ice. You got the big fan. They got big fans that you can plug up to and put ice water in them. It'll blow out cool air. So I think that we need to address that first, man, because we're putting people's lives in danger every day that the heat, and it's only going to get worse, man. The summer is just beginning. We're only one day into 1 or 2, 3 days into the summer, and so it's going to get hotter. We got an extreme heat wave coming on within the next couple of weeks, man. So look out for them guys at 29, man. It's hot. They're just on a serious note. Uh, but on another note, I wonder how an inmate, a young inmate who was there at MSP for escaping from another institution, be unsupervised in a place uh, in the holding cell at Unit 29 and managed to escape. Be it he didn't get off ground because it's so big. Maybe the heat had a lot had a lot to do with it. He escaped because of the heat. I know once they had dogs in 29, so now I've heard that one of the dogs to come inside the fence because of the heat. So if a dog, if an animal outside succumb to the heat, imagine what the guys in the cells are doing with the heat being above, with the outside heat being above 121. And so the building's got to be at least at minimum 114. You know what I mean? So maybe the safety needs to go there, maintenance needs to go there and take the temperature gun and go and just check the temperature in the unit. Not on the ground floor, but upstairs, because we know that heat rises in this trap with the sun on the outside being on top of the building. You know what I mean? And then you got mosquitoes, man. A lot of your windows are bust out in J building, A building. You know what I mean? All those units that are locked down, man. Man, fix the window. Fix the windows. If you got money to build a retreat or a pavilion out there by the thing, fix the windows, man. Put somebody on there. Fix the roof. Every time it rains, you know what I mean? It's yeah, you see I got my little thug music on tonight, so I'm just kind of that's how I'm feeling, man, because we're letting them get away with too much, man, when it comes to our loved ones, when it comes to the staff that work there. I heard that the staff member got stabbed at Marshall County a couple of days ago. And so I think that's due to staff shortage, could be due to corruption or whatever. But man, by all means, man, fix the heat at Unit 29, man. Fix the conditions. You say it's supposed to be closed. You said everywhere was supposed to have air within when the first 12 months of you being there. Man, it's been going on 4 years, man, 4 solid years, and there's still no air at Unit 29. Are they the throwaways in the state? You know what I mean? Yeah. Why they can't get a change of clothes? Why is it taking so long? Is it too hot for the officers to go out there and get them a change of clothes? Then if so, man, get them guys somewhere so they can get some air, man. Get them some air. Put the ice machines in each unit so they can have, so that your camp support can get those guys some water so that they won't be suffocating due to the heat, that's going on at 29, man. So a lot of people are sick. You got a lot of sick people that are down there in NPC, that are in long-term segregation, that are in G building. So I'm wondering if the young guy, Harris, escaped because of the heat. But he had a prior. He escaped in the wintertime, so maybe he tried to escape because of the heat. But I'm just wondering if this is like the second guy within the last 7 months that has escaped from Unit 29, so evidently we have a problem. You know what I mean? So we need to check that and see. So if somebody is consistently getting out, then you need to fix the problem. You need to find out where the leak is, man, or whatever. I just don't think it's, how you doing, Ms. Howe? I just don't think it's fair that you put the community at risk and the community at danger when you consistently send people who are there for escape, but you don't have somebody that's consistently on him. He's never supposed to be out of shackles so he can run. And it looks bad, man, when you have people who are consistently being sent to 29 and they're escaping from 29. Therefore, they're sent to long-term segregation because of a prior escape. So when you take them to the holding cell, why is there nobody watching them? Like, what's going on? And that's on a lighter note. How about an inmate ride from CMCF to Parchment in a van that wasn't on the manifest on the transfer list? First of all, how did he get on the van? How did he get out of the gate at CMCF? How did he get all the way to Parchment before anybody discovered that this dude was not supposed to be on the van? You know what I mean? Man, Houston, we have a problem. And all these are on a lighter note. You know, that MSP. There are a lot of things that are on address, so these are just some things that are on a lighter note. Now, on a more serious note, why is it that you, Ms. Harrison, coming from probation and parole, these people, like I said, don't have any correctional experience, coming down trying to run an institution and think that screaming and hollering is going to get you to the top? You know what I mean? Man, get out and make your round. Why are you not going to MSU on the yard? Maybe if you were making rounds, or maybe you had a better security system or a better way of letting the women out on rec, there wouldn't be guys coming down the hill and having sex with the women who are in MSU on the yard. The one that you said in the system, when you look them up in the system, you're saying that they're at 720, but they're not at 720. They're at MSU on the yard, where there's no air. Also, it's hot and everything. And so when the women go out on the rec yard, you still got renegade women that are selling their bodies to guys up on the hill, and they're running down, taking turns running down on the hill, having sex with women on the thing. So please say you don't know Miss Harrison, because from my understanding, that you got one of the women in lockup because she's supposed to be, it's allegedly that she's supposed to be with child. You know what I mean? So why are you busy harassing your officers when you already have a short staff officer? Man, you're not too big to make rounds. You know what I mean? If you got a problem with some of the people that Mr. Kane brought with him, then you tell Mr. Kane. Don't tell the inmates where you want to make cracks and jokes about. You calling, people like me who were formerly incarcerated that came in and gave 110% because of what we learned inside. The only way that you can change the system is to have people who have been through the system and that have changed their lives and go back in and to mentor the guys and change the guys for the things that they're doing. So you coming from probation and parole here in the state of Mississippi, which I tell y'all, Mississippi parole system is jacked up. And you don't allow guys to, the parole board even said that, because MDOC is pencil whooping their classes, that they don't take any of the certificates and stuff serious. So they don't use them as credit going towards them making parole. So when a system that's designed for rehabilitation, and you got guys get up every morning, guys like Mac Watts, the field minister, David Vincent, and all those guys who get up every day, study the word, go down and mentor guys. go down and do anger management class, go out and tutor guys and help them get their GED. But you don't have the money to even pay for them graduating. Now I can see where you got, and I understand the situation where you got guys at SMCI that are supposed to be in some of your classes that are not even at the institution, but you're graduating them you having a graduation and they're getting certificates. I understand that, but they're at least 50 or 60% of the guys that are applying themselves, earnestly getting their GED, earnestly putting time into changing. Yet and still, when they go before the parole board, their classes are not being respected or even considered because they think that MDOC is whooping the system. So where do we change that? It goes back to the thing to where a lot of the things that I know, one of my former coworkers put in place to where he's on top of guys getting their education and training, but everything that he introduces, you want to quote unquote give credit to somebody else for saying a so-called reentry academy. You know what I mean? Which is the same blueprint that came from Angola, to where guys are actually making parole, where guys are actually coming out with a trade and a skill, that's allowing them to be in the job market. But here in Mississippi, you don't think that any of us can change, because the first thing that you don't see a person that can be reformed. You still see just another N word that's caught up in your system. You know what I mean? So your sole reasoning here in Mississippi is to continue to keep us locked up until the gates swell, until we either get a ride to a lot of staff and inmates, staff and inmate violence gets out of control. And by all means, man, make no mistake, I don't care, from being on the other side of the wall and working on this side of the wall, make no mistake, the inmates run the prison. And that's and it's simply that. Okay, Sleepy Black said honestly they don't want to give parole to the guys that's not going to mess up because it's a moneymaker. And you're right. It's not only that. I just think that they got selective reasoning. If you look at the money, I tell people to follow the money trail. The money with the clubs, the money with through Premier, that they're sending the money that they get per inmate to house them and to run the system. I think that what I think is, hold on one second. So I think that we're missing the point, man. The system is not about punishment. The system is about rehabilitation. For whatever time, if a guy has done 20 years and he hasn't had RVR in, let's say, 17 years, you know what I mean? What does it take to say that he has changed? You know what I mean? What more can he do to show the nature of the crime is never going to change? That's going to always be the same, no matter how many times he come before you. But you just set him off 5 years and he hasn't had an incident report for 20. But yet and still, you paroling people who have been in trouble, who were charged with capital offenses, and then they go out and make it bad for all the ones doing it. One is a former field minister, man. I really hate that you know what I mean, that you can give guys somebody like Matt Watts, who in with his crime, in the heat of passion, he committed what I would consider an atrocious crime. But if you look at the man's heart and the work ethic that he has put in since he's been in like William Golden, even Jerry Meditol, Stephen Henry, man, these guys deserve to be paroled. Yeah, that crime, when you look at the scale, man, I just looked at a case where a lady here in Madison County, just ran into a school teacher and killed her. Do you know that they were going to let her out on an OR or her own reconnaissance bond the same night until some of the people on the department protested, and then they still end up giving her a $250,000 bond. You know what I mean? So it just showed you the mindset. She just, in being drunk, teetotal drunk, driving on the wrong side of the road, killed a wife, a mother, a school teacher, and educator, and they were going to give her a bond on her own reconnaissance. Now, it's a young lady here that's from the Delta that was in Canton looking for a job. The officer stopped her, said she was speeding. And mind you, we got a full door-to-door or knock-down, drag-out gang war going on in Canton right now. These youngsters are killing each other, man, like that. And for no reason, nobody wants to get out and find out why or what's going on and why they're dying, why they're so angry at each other and they're killing each other. But you got an officer that gives a young lady a ticket, and he said that she threw something out the window. He tased her and took her to jail with that. And the same day, somebody's shooting Cannon Square up. So where is his mental faculties that you want to take a young black woman to jail on Juneteenth, last Wednesday, and she still hasn't had bonds? They're holding her to take her to court. She don't have any pending warrants. We already checked NCIC for that. Attorneys already did that. He hasn't even filed a report. It's been out. It'll be a week tomorrow. And she said she's been in jail for a whole week, and she's in nursing school. So you want to keep her in nursing school while she sits and wait for her ticket, while she sits and wait to see the judge, yet and still you want to give a lady that just left a party drunk, going to drive to Louisville, Mississippi, and kill the woman on Bluffstack Road. You want to give her a reconnaissance bond, a white lady. You want to give her a reconnaissance bond on the spot until your own staff member in Madison County, protested. Then you give her a $250,000 bond. Yet and still, a young lady that's got a traffic ticket can't even get a bond. She got to stay in jail a week just to see. So I'm just wondering, man. I said all that to say, where's our focus in the judicial system, and the justice system, when we're talking about rehabilitation, when we're talking about getting people back home to their families, man? It's costing the state money to house people who are, when you violate somebody for not paying a fine, and you're not paying him while he's inside, how in the hell you think he's going to pay his fine when he get out? And you done kept him for 10 years. You ain't paid him nothing for 10 years. You haven't given him an opportunity to work, to learn how to be gainfully employed, or taught him how to be gainfully employed, because you think the programs that people like me and the other people who were formerly incarcerated put in place, you think that these are some watered down educators. We know what it takes, man, because of my experience and training inside, I was able to come out and teach other guys from Toastmasters to NCCR. This is an outside course. These are not, we took courses that were from the outside. So when we take courses while we were incarcerated, then we're well equipped to teach culinary arts. We're well equipped to teach reentry and job skills, dress for success, and all these different skills. Then we can see, then we're a beacon of hope for these guys, man, who are incarcerated. If we can do it, when we come out under life sentences, to be able to. So Ms. Harrison, so when you think of us as quote unquote, you're afraid because we're former inmates, then where is your thinking? You're thinking that we can't be rehabilitated? So the same people that you house and you're sitting over as being a former probation officer that you're over, you don't see any woman out there that can be rehabilitated? You know what I mean? So man, you can't continue to treat these women like you keep them locked down like cell. If you keep a dog locked in the cell for 2 or 3 months, when he come out, that you damn right he's gonna bite somebody because he's tired of being pent up. You know what I mean? So your job is to ensure that people are getting their clothes like that, they're getting the meals like doing. Your job is not to go around barking like you're some kind of dog or like you're somebody's overseer or something, or you're somebody's puppet, man. If you want to do that, man, then go back to probation and parole. Or is it because of your relationship with somebody at central office that you think that you can do what you want to do out there? You know what I mean? No, this is not hearsay. This is not hearsay. You know what I mean? And you know it, and these are facts. However you got there, that's your business. Whatever you did with what your mama gave you, that's your business. But don't inflict your insecurities or project them onto the masses of women and coworkers that you work beside because of your insecurities. You know what I mean? Man, I'm only repeating what the streets are saying. You know what I mean? And so, if the streets saying that women are having unprotected sex, and one of your women is alleged to be pregnant, then I just want to see how are you covering that up? It happened on your watch. Why are you not being held responsible? Being held responsible. You know what I'm saying? If an escape happened on your watch, why are you not being held responsible? You know what I mean? So, but you continue to want to keep people who stand up for themselves in MSU with fake paperwork when CID has cleared them. When CID has cleared them, but you want to keep them in MSU on the long term. What can you learn in being in a cell 24 hours a day, and you come out maybe 2 days a week on Tuesday and Thursday this week, or on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you alternate weeks. What can you learn being in a cell 24 hours a day with no air conditioning, with no TV, a radio if you were able to afford batteries, your family was blessed to get you some, and then you only sell them back, you only sell them a certain amount of things, but you won't give them their clothes. So you tell me this, who made you judge, jury, and execute? You weren't there in the county when they went to trial. You're only there to be there. As superintendent, you're only there to ensure their safety, uh, their education, and give them the opportunity to be educated, giving them the opportunity to be rehabilitated, and to ensure that they have I won't say a smooth transition, but a progressive transition so that they can become a good returning citizen. So when we take it upon ourselves as staff members to have other inmates to be over a certain group of people and to be law and order, that's what your staff members are for. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have inmates telling other inmates what to do. You shouldn't have other inmates telling staff what to do. You know, sort of like Batman do. You can't tell. His talented nine. You know what I mean? Back in the day when it was the NAACP, it was a talented tent that was formed with W.D. Moore. But I guess he brought his 9 people with him, so the staff can't tell them nothing. You know what I mean? They ride around on 4-wheelers in vans, and they got free range. And then they're allowed to count themselves on a certified count and call in on their radio. Man, I ain't mad at them. I understand. But when it inflicts, what's up, Rich? How you doing? Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So man, get your priorities in order, man. MSP, Mr. McClure, man, get your stuff together, man. I hate to cuss, man, but get your stuff together, man. You know what I mean? Oh, there's plenty of pictures. It'll be coming in a post near you real soon. You can look. You know what I mean? And if you think I'm jiving, man, you know what I mean? You'll see. All you gotta do is follow, and you'll see. You know what I mean? It's nothing personal. It's just how it is. If you're not doing right, man, the people are going to scream, man. You get off their toes, man, and get off their back. You're keeping their foot on their neck. And then I was looking the other day, and I just happened to Google Premier Services. How is there another company is Premier, what the families send money to, for the people to be, to get their food, order their commissary, to use the phone. Them and people like Global Tel. Even I know if the feds can give free phone calls, a certain amount of free phone calls a month, then the state can do the same thing. You know what I mean? But long story short, I was Googling Premier, and another Premier Services came up. And so I'm about following the money. This same Premier Services is like a mirror company or a dummy company. I'm going to say a shell company of the other Premier, and they're doing business with MDOC. And how is Valacor double billing the state for inmates? It's not what I think. It's not what I said. It's what I know. You know what I mean? When I get it in the right hand, you'll see. Just say I told you so. Just say I told you so. So you got a medical company that's double billing the state of Mississippi for a service that they provide. Every time they see a person, they're double billing them. They're billing them on the medical side and on the mental health side. So the state is paying double almost every time. 3 out of 5 times, when 3 out of 5 guys go to the doctor, the state is getting double billed for those guys who are going uh, 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 to sick call. And the only thing they're doing, they're telling him, oh, he's just faking, send it back to the unit. You just won yourself a $300 deal for the state. We'll see him tomorrow, or we'll get his medicine. You know, you got a guy down there that's now been waiting on a compassionate release for a month and a half, and the doctors gave him, at UMMC, gave him 6 months to live. So he's been waiting a month and a half, right at 2 months. It'll be 2 months on, matter of fact, 2 months on the 6th or the 7th of next month. But they gave him 6 months to live, and he's waiting on a medical release. He's waiting on a medical release. They said that his heart will fail at the max within 6 months, and he's waiting on compassion release. You got a guy that's been down like 30, 31, 32 years that's worked for MAG Court at least 20 something of those years, but a model inmate hadn't had a write up in 25 years. You know what I mean? He's waiting. He's waiting. The doctor said that he's terminal, and the quality of life, that the care that he needs, they can't provide. Yet and still, you want to hold him in the system for a company like Court to double bill you for taking care of him when you can give him compassionate release and his family can take care of him. You know what I mean? Man, you got so many senior citizens that's been guys that have been around 25, 29, 30 years, man, that are still at MDOC at 42. Some of them 42. When 42 is full, you got your elder unit at 31. And these people, man, are sick. These people are sick, man. A lot of them are terminal. And a lot of them, because of the water, the heat, and the different conditions that are going on within the prison system, MDOC included. You know what I'm saying? So, man, get them dudes there, man, and let them dudes make parole. Whatever it is, man, if anybody out there knows how to fix it, help me. Point me in the right direction where I need to. I reached out to the parole board. They don't want to talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? They said MDOC is whooping the classes. So I just think that we need to find a way, man. We need to find a way to help our people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's time for everybody, staff alike, got inmates alike. I'm not saying, you know, if I was incarcerated and this was happening to me, what I would do is, and if people looked up to me, then I would rally the troops. Hey, man, I'm tired. You don't want to give me the air? You know what I mean? I'm not coming over here serving no food, passing out no trays in 110, 115 degree heat. You don't want to let me make parole? Then you teach your class. You teach your own classes. You don't want to let me make parole? Then you cook your own food. If you don't want to give me the things I need, then you're required to take care of me. Then what you do is you take care of me. You know what I mean? If you want your grass cut, then cut your damn grass, man. You know what I mean? So when you start taking pride in what you do, and when you let people trample on your rights and won't fight back, then you're just as bad as them, man. If you want to do an ARP for how they're treating you, then you're just as bad as them, man. If your family won't go to the necessary lawmakers when they trample on your rights, man, then there's something wrong, man. There's something wrong. When you're more cared about getting a package in than your quality of living. Yeah, only 10% of the 19,000 people who are incarcerated are going to live not a quality of life, but a decent life. Man, that other 17,000 are going to suffer. They're going to suffer because the food is horrible. They're going to suffer because guys at 29, I don't know what the population at 29 is right now, but I'm sure A billing, C billing, F billing, G billing, H billing, J and L building are boiling over with the heat. You know what I mean? And I think that those guys out there, man, those guys out there, you know, the reason I have love for them, man, is because the quality of living out there, man, is horrendous, man. You know what I mean? It's a death trap. It's a death trap with the heat. It's a death trap because the heat is only going to make the tension between the people go up. I just thank God that, man, we got respectable men and leaders in the zone that are keeping the tension down. You know, and it was saying, you know, Timothy Fisher brother has been reaching out to me saying that how he was mistreated caused him to take his own life, in the sense that the family have been trying to, it's alleged that he left a suicide note. So his family has been trying to get that, and I think they deserve that. So I want to see why and how uh, that he felt like a man that's going home next year would take his own life because of the conditions at Unit 29. And within 30 minutes, another guy tried to commit suicide at Unit 29. And the very next day, the same thing. This is long before the heat got really bad. I think it was about a month and a half, 2 months ago. But why is it the need? You know, just like the guy when death row was hot, when they fixed the heat, but they had the heat up on super hot, and the temperatures inside the unit was 114 degrees. And tell you what, nobody know. I walked through with the maintenance man, bottom tier, like 106, 107, top tier, 114 degrees. But you had a man that committed suicide in his boxes because he couldn't take the heat. You know what I mean? So if that mentality floods and permeates the very fabric of 29, then I think that the public and the families need to get ready, man, because it's a time bomb. It's a time bomb waiting to happen, man. And so when you continuously trample on the rights of your officers and harass them when they're trying to do their job, when you're forcing them to do 24s, but you won't fix nothing. You don't let them pass out any clothes. You won't get them the clothes. You won't get new trays. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. I don't know who said cut it off, but I know somebody was told, the word was said that they said don't cut it off. That they want to complain about the heat, don't cut it off. You know what I mean? They couldn't get the regulator right and get it at a certain temperature. You could have just turned the heat on at night and turned it off in the daytime. You know, so I just think that, man, congratulations, man. Congratulations, big brother. Man, I see you soon. I had them top flight balls for you soon whenever I see you. You know what I mean? Congratulations, man. Thank you for everything that you've done. You know what I mean? And then sometimes when you don't take wise counsel from people who come up in the ranks and know what's going on, when you want to do it on your own and you want to let probation and parole come in and dictate um, how a corrections car is driven, that's like a guy that's been driving yeah, that's what I was told and that's what I heard, but I don't know. You know what I mean? I won't, Mr. Morris is not there, man. I don't have anything bad to say about him. We've had our differences, but I don't have nothing bad to say about Tim, man. I just think that he got the raw end of a deal, of a bad deal. You know what I mean? I just wish he had done a little more and been more assertive and just took initiative to run his own thing. But when you come in and somebody's running like an iron fist, I could see him being reserved in the way that he wanted to do things. So you know what I mean? I won't kick a man while he's down, man. I understand he's been through the same thing that a lot of us have been through uh, in this unjust or unjust system that we operate and work in. Even with your situation, there's been no legitimate reason, Mumford, as to why, or even, they let you go. You know, it's probably because you were working while black. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a new term that we need to use. Maybe because you were working while black. You know, so whatever things, if they didn't, you can have all the allegations you want, but if you didn't catch somebody's hand in the cookie jar in the pot, and when you take an inmate's word, an inmate that you shake him down 1 week, and you take uh, equipment from them, iPad, computers, phone, and the very next day he had the same thing and more, then man, we had a problem. You know what I mean? And so I can understand that, but you know, when you don't know how this is happening, when when he's mad at you or whatever, and they say, and they make allegations against one of us, then they're quick to give us the boot. But you know what I mean? What about the allegations made about people of other color? You know what I mean? So why don't they take that and look into some of the things, man? Like I always tell you, man, the scales is not balanced when it comes to us being employed and them being employed, and one of them get in trouble, one of us get in trouble. Man, you going to the county jail. They're gonna give Becky and Jimbo a pat on the back. Say, look, told you not to do it. Go home, take some time off. You'll be all right. Yeah. I'll see you at church Sunday. You know what I mean? You, oh no, you did what? You brought your headphones in? You going to the county jail. Your name is gonna be on the front. You know what I mean? So it's a different scale, man, when we do one thing. And man, as the old folks say, everything that glitter ain't gold. People that you think have your back don't always have your back. You know what I mean? And so we have to be mindful of that. We got to be mindful of that psyche that they have built. And then when you got the few who want to come to work, who want to do the right thing, and they're just trying to make it to the finish line. I just think that you know, they just want to be safe. They want to stay on third till somebody lays down the bunt, man, they can get home just so they can get away from it. And that's the attitude, man, that they'll make you have within this system. Because when you try to tell them something, and over again, you got people coming from other organizations in the state who don't have the best interests of the state and the people who are housed in the state at hand. It's all about the money with them. It's not about rehabilitation. It's not about education. It's not about safety and security. It's simply about the money. You know what I mean? And so when we build up enough courage to follow the money trail, see what's going on with the two premier companies, see what's going on with Merchant, see what's going on with the so-called reentry academy that is obviously not working. You know what I mean? And when we don't have money, when guys go through all this training to take their GEDs, but you can't pay for them to take the HiSET test, you know what I mean? Then we have a problem, man. But you can build tiny homes for the community of Jackson, and we can order stuff. When a club has $240,000, it may welfare fund had over 1.1 when I got there, 1.9 when I left, and I used to check it frequently. How can you not be able to pay for a HiSET machine? And how can you also have an expensive mobile welding truck when they got welding labs at CMCF, when they got welding labs at, you got Matt Watts that's a certified welder. He can teach in a welding class. You know, a professional welder on the street. Yet and still, when he goes up for roll, you know, you continuously set him off. So until we change the way we incarcerate people with the habitual, we need to do away with the habitual, because you can send guys back to jail for any minor thing. When you can send a guy back to jail for not paying his fine and give him 10 years for not paying his $25 a month, then man, I think that we have a serious problem. But most of the guys who are getting out, if they've been incarcerated more than 10 years, 80% of them have some type of mental deficiency, because being incarcerated at somewhere like 29, if he spent, I know guys have been over there at least, when I was there, had been there like 7, 8 years at 29. So being at 29 for that many amount of years and not being able to have a touch with the outside world will never leave 29. You don't really understand when you were set free and you send them home with $25 or give them a bus ticket home. He don't know what to do, because he's been isolated or pent up for so many years, for a long number of years. So we got to take more care and more time into teaching guys how to change their criminal thinking or to eliminate their criminal thinking. You know what I mean? To take his analytical skills and use them for him to come out and to be a productive citizen in society. There are a lot of guys, man, that have gotten out and did some great things, and that are doing some great things. But the majority of them, those if a guy is hooked on drugs inside the system, what makes you think when he get home, when he can get to a more powerful drug, and when he got a chance to make more money, that he's not going to be hooked on drugs when he come out? You know what I mean? So we need more. If he was using drugs in the system and he comes out here in the state of Mississippi and you give him a piss test and you know that he got an incident report for using drugs in the system, how in the hell he gonna pass a drug screening test when he come out? So you want to violate him before you get in treatment. You know what I mean? That's your whole mindset. Or you come up hot. You come up hot. It's going to take at least 60 to 90 days for the drugs to get out of his system. Man, send him to a drug treatment center. When we don't have enough halfway houses in the state to relieve depression, then we're going to constantly have a problem, man. If a toilet get full, it's going to get full of mess, man, and it's going to be stinking all over the state. You know what I'm saying? So right now, we got a clog up somewhere. I don't know if it's a parole board. I don't know if it's reentry. I don't know if it's probation and parole. Whatever it is, man, we need to fix it. We need to get a roto-rooter, and we need to weed it out. And I think the Department of Justice is the perfect roto-rooter to fix the problems at 29, to fix the problems at CMCF, SMCI, Greene County. And that's not it, man. Check out the post. When I post it, you'll see. You know what I mean? So with ACA coming, let's not pencil whip this thing, man. Let's not pencil whip this thing. Man, y'all take care, man. That's my time. That's my time. That's my time, man. I love you guys, man. Thank you for staying. You got any questions, man? Inbox me. You got any suggestions how we can fix the problem? Inbox me, man. Inbox me. You know what I mean? But get that heat fixed at 29, man. Them guys are suffering. So a lot of families are calling me, man, because their families are saying that, God, the quality of life with this heat like it is with the heat. Man, the dog died in between the fence, man, because it's so hot outside. And concrete absorbs heat and holds it. You know what I mean? And so relieve the pressure. Get ice machines for the unit. Whatever you got to do. They got the fans that you can hook up water to, and you can hook up pour cold water in them, and it'll blow out cold air, man. But we got to do something, man, before we even have a lot of guys who are quadriplegic or bedridden because of the heat, because of heat stroke. Read it. 105 consistently for over 2 or 3 hour period will cause you to have a heat stroke, man. So y'all pray for those guys, man. Y'all pray for those guys. Y'all pray for those guys. Take care, man. Be easy.